I grew up in a finished church. My grandfather's a minister and went to church when we were young. All of us kids went up. It's a church located up in the upper part of Wisconsin. They only have church once a month. Like I said, my grandpa's a minister. And once my parents got divorced, and I quit going to church probably around that time. So I've been to church for probably about 20 years. Then about 4 years ago, I met Curt and got married. Good thing. And about 6 months ago, he wanted us to go to church. We were missing something in our family. Kids were asking us questions about church, and I couldn't answer them because I didn't know. And of course, Curt could because he had more of a background than what I had. So we decided to come to church. It was very uncomfortable for me because it was new, it was intimidating, I didn't know anything. I just remember what my dad said. He always tells us that faith, you have to have faith the size of a mustard seed to believe, which I knew that, and I always talked to God, but never went beyond that. I mean, I didn't go to church for 20 years. I always thought, oh, I believe that's good enough. What I can remember, we didn't have Bibles. I had never seen a Bible in the church. Very different from what I'm used to. So when I came here in the other church, like I said, it's really different.
And I remember discussing church afterwards with Wanda and asking her how she felt, and it was interesting. This was a culture shock for her, and so I found myself trying to help her understand what she was going through, the conflict. Imagine growing up and being taught by your father and your grandfather, who's a minister or pastor, that this is Christianity. And then learning at your adult age that there's maybe something more to this, how that might feel.
Yeah. And since coming to church, probably we've been coming about 6 months or so, and probably in the last 2-3 months, we've noticed a great difference in our marriage. It's been great. So, and we got baptized. Can't forget that.
Probably the biggest challenge I think that Wanda is facing today is to overcome the fear of praying. They didn't apparently pray.
No. Never said a prayer in church.
So you mean praying out loud?
Praying out loud, just praying at meals, praying anywhere. I've never seen my grandparents, which he's a minister, pray. Not that I can recall. My dad, I've never seen him pray. So when I pray in my head. I haven't got to that comfort level out loud yet, but it'll come.
Wanda has gone from having this wonderful heart, maybe unattended, to all of a sudden feeling a purpose. And it was in a sermon that Jim had. It was during that sermon, that call, that Wanda walked up and asked Christ to be her personal Lord and Savior. Ironically, we were both going through a certain amount of adversity at the same time. We were dealing with the devastation of learning of adultery from our spouses at that time, going through divorce, and having to deal with the challenges of children in a divorce, and then reestablishing our lives as single parents. And at that time, Wanda was, in her way, praying for a strong man. Her husband at the time was a type of person that liked to drink. And so Wanda found herself out and about in these bar situations to be with her husband, always a designated driver, only to find that she was cleaning up the mess thereafter. And this was her life. At the same time, I was experiencing similar devastation, and I too was praying for a certain companion. Wanda was actually renting from my brother in town, and which was kind of ironic, and I had to get her past the fact that she felt uncomfortable dating her landlord's brother. But we got through that.
No.
But it was an answer to both of our prayer. And what I found in Wanda was an answer to my prayers, and vice versa. So our biggest struggle was overcoming the parenting style, and we've done quite a bit of reading and research, and it came to a point where I had to learn to step back, and Wanda had to learn to step up, and that gave us the balance that we were looking for. But it didn't really click until we started putting God in the center of our lives. And we've actually gone back just recently and looked at some of our email conversations. We do a lot of we address some of our challenges through email throughout the day, from one work source to the other, and it's amazing what you can work out via email these days. We look back at some of those emails, and we see a completely transformed marriage today with God in the center. And it was the glue that just brought it all together and made it click. And it has clicked in such a wonderful way. It's undescribable.